Just gonna check to make sure.
Okay. Um, all right, we're live on LinkedIn.
Okay, yeah, I can see
Awesome. All
live.
right, we're live on LinkedIn.
Yes, okay, I can see us now as well.
Hi, everyone. Good
Hello.
morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Please let us know in the chat if you can see us, you can hear us, and also let us know where you're joining us from. I'm out here in Calgary today, and Sabrish is out in Regina.
Yes.
Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know if you can see us and hear us. Today, we're talking about a day in the life of a consultant. Alrighty. Hi, Abim Sola from Dubai. Hello, good evening. How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome. Okay, from London. Okay, Abby from London. Welcome. Hello, Loveth from Lagos. Welcome.
McKinsey, Texas. Denise.
Hello, Vincent from McKinney, Texas.
Ubong is
Ubong
joining
from
us.
the UK. Welcome. Okay. Or will that be from Port Harcourt? Welcome. Chioma from Cynthia from Lagos. Welcome. Kingsley from Nigeria. Welcome. Alrighty. Frances from Nigeria. Welcome. Collie from Houston. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Ajibola from Lagos. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. And as of course, as you join, please introduce yourself. Let's get to know who you are.
Yes.
All righty. Welcome, Joy. Welcome, Joy from the UK. Olu from Nigeria. Welcome. Ayo from Joss. Welcome. Okay. From the UK. Welcome. Can't see your name. Zandile Namibia, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Eno Eka. I am the founder of the Business Analysis School. At the Business Analysis School, we provide education in form of training and coaching for business analysis certifications and career coaching to help professionals who want to grow and thrive in the amazing business analysis career. We have certification classes and coaching programs that help professionals land six-figure jobs in business analysis. And of course, today with me, I have Sabrish Chand. The amazing master consultant, who is the CEO and founder of Intera Consulting and the IITC. So, Sabrish, please do a quick introduction. Let's get to meet you.
Yes. Hi, everyone. And my name is Sabrish Chand, and I'm the founder of Intera Consulting and the International Institute of IT and Consulting. So, what we do is we help businesses, organizations, and individuals to get the most from their IT, right? So, especially with individuals, we help them become the most sought after consultants in the IT industry. So, anyone here who's watching us today, if you are interested in becoming a consultant in the IT industry, then that's what we do. We help people to transition their careers from a 9 to 5 and to become a consultant who could then go on to make six-figure income or maybe more in the IT industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. And today we're really just going to be sharing experiences as consultants. I tell my students this all the time that even as a business analyst, you have to think like a consultant. When I get into an organization, I'm seeing myself like as a consultant. I am, analyzing everything. Recommendations is what I do. Looking at how to improve things and make things better. So consulting is also a mindset, right? And we're going to be talking about that today and really talking about what do you really do as a consultant. And a lot of times you would also find that you might actually be doing all of those things just with a different job title and all of that.
Yeah.
So let's get into a day in the life of a consultant, Sabrish. Let's get on with this. I'm excited about this topic we're speaking
Yeah.
about today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and yeah. So we've been getting a lot of questions, right? On what do consultants really do in their day to day, and we thought this is maybe a good topic to chat about as well, so you get some understanding on what consultants actually do, and what this is all about, right? So I'm going to walk you through a couple of slides here that I put together to kind of describe and help you understand a bit more about what consultants do in their day-to-day lives, right? um, okay, so yeah, this is the question of the hour, right? So what do IT consultants do all day? And that's what people ask me, and that's what we're asking ourselves today as well. So before we look at what we actually do, right? I want you to take a step back. Think about someone like a banker, for example, right? So when you think of a banker, what comes to mind? Put in the chat if you're listening and watching this. When you think of a banker, what really comes to mind? What do you think they do all day?
Yeah, what do bankers do all day? Knowledge
Finance?
is finance. Okay.
Yeah. What else do they do? What comes to mind? What are the activities do you see a banker doing, in their day to day? They they talk to people, right? They understand what people want. They help them make best selections of either savings accounts, checking accounts, or whatever that is, right? Or if somebody is looking for investments, they help them make those decisions. To select the best investment products, managing portfolios of customers and organizations. They do financial management. Yes, they reconcile accounts. Yeah, and they are also talking to people most of the day, right? So risk management trading, yes, that's a good one. Abby, yeah. So there's so many activities that if you think of a banker, they will
Mhm.
do in their day to day, right? And similarly, consultants do a lot of activities in their day to day as well, which we're going to talk about. Now we'll talk about another example, right? Think about an accountant. What do you think an accountant does throughout their day? So someone like an accountant, again, they're also managing uh, accounts, right? Portfolio of accounts of some kind. They're looking at cash
Financial
in,
statements, cash
yes,
flow,
cash flow,
back reconciliation,
yeah,
petty cash book management, journals,
yeah,
GLs,
taxes, right?
taxes.
Yeah, so those are the different things that an accountant also is doing. So it doesn't mean that if you are a banker, you're doing banker or banking all day long, right?
Mm,
There's different things that you have to do in order for you to be that banker, right? So banker is really an identity, and so as an accountant is an identity. An identity has to do different things in order to facilitate what the identity is responsible for, right? Do you get that so far? So it's not about the activities that define what you do. It's about who you are, and it's about what role you are playing is what defines what activities you will have to do throughout the day, right? So a banker does so many activities in order to facilitate banking or banking operations throughout the day. And so is an accountant. The accountant does so many activities in order to facilitate accounting for a client or maybe a portfolio of clients, right? And similarly, when you think about consultants and
Mm,
consulting, right? So consulting is the outcome of what the consultants do to facilitate consulting, which is what? Which is providing expertise, knowledge, skills,
mm,
and advisory role or advisory or advice
mm.
to people who are actually looking for it. So you're helping them to move from one state. It could be a problem state, or it could be somewhere they're at and they need some direction. So you're taking them from a state where they're at to a state where they want to go,
Exactly.
providing those expert guidance and services, right? And what you do is you utilize all the skills, the knowledge about that industry or the domain that you have, and you help them make that transition, right? So if you think out loud, if you think about a consultant, they and all these different roles that we talked about, they just don't do accounting or banking or consulting. There's different activities they do, meaning they do different things in order for them to facilitate or deliver the thing that matters, right? So the context here is consulting, and that's what we're talking about. So they do the things that deliver the thing, which is
Exactly.
consulting, right? So that's the fundamental concept I want you to understand today, because most of you, when you think of consulting, I think you always have this perception of, oh, you're going to sit somewhere and then people are going to come and ask for guidance or support, right? It doesn't really happen that way, right? So as a consultant, you are the one who is going forward to either meet with people, gather information, and like do different things, and which we will talk about in the upcoming slides. But that's what you will be doing, right? And the reason why you do that is because you want to gather information so you can provide the right kind of advice and expertise to people who are really, really looking for your help to get to that desired state or the outcome that they want to go or
Mm.
achieve, right? Um, how are we doing so far?
Oh, good. Really good. Yeah.
Good, good, good. Questions? Anyone?
No, no questions yet. No.
Okay, so let's look at, for example, what a business analyst will need to do in their day to day, right? Now, when you talk about a consultant, you have a consultant who could be a business analyst, a project manager, or even a technical person, right? Maybe a software developer could also be a consultant. You could be an architect in the IT industry, and you could also be a consultant, right? But if you are somebody who is not in the IT industry at this point in time, you could already very well be playing that role of a consultant in whatever you are doing at this point in time. You might be a subject matter expert in whatever you're doing, right? For example, if you're working in construction, if you're working in banking and finance, if you're working in energy sector, or even pharmaceuticals, right?
Mm.
Any industry, any domain where you are working, you are probably playing the role of a consultant already, but you might be called as a specialist, an associate,
Yeah.
or even a subject matter expert of some sort, right? Um, so if you look at business analyst, right, there's different things that the business analyst will need to do. Again, they're not doing business analysis the whole day, right? They're doing the different activities that will help them to achieve business analysis as a service that they are delivering to the
Hmm.
client who's looking for it. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, these are some of the activities that they will have to do, right? So if you think about a business analyst, they are the major part of their role is working with people, like communicating with people, talking to people, interviewing people, right? And they're doing that because they can gather information either through in discussions with them, or they could also be gathering information in terms of already existing documentation that the client or maybe the organization has, or maybe the stakeholder has, and they're utilizing that in their business analysis, right? So basically, you're gathering inputs so you can use that information to kind of analyze what the client really needs and what the client really need to have in order for them to get to a desired state or achieve an outcome, right? So gathering information, analyzing information, synthesizing information. Again, this is where you take the information from the client and you understand or comprehend that information or interpret that information into a meaningful form that helps you to then take that information and provide a service or an advice of some sort, right, to the client. um, no visuals. I think we have some visuals here as well. So, yeah, we'll keep going. So again, if you look at the other activities, you're gathering information, you're synthesizing information. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
presenting the information in a form, right? For a business analyst, the presentation of it could be a BRD where
Mm-hmm.
or a business requirements document where you are outlining everything that you have gathered into some sort of a meaningful format, which the stakeholders will understand, right? So you're basically consolidating um, all the information that you have gathered. Somebody says, count money. That's I don't think that's something they do during during the consulting phase. They probably are doing it after, but sure, yeah. So if you are a credit
I think that was for the banking question.
checking,
Maybe that person's
mhm,
response is coming in pretty late.
pretty
So
late. Okay, okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, sorry for taking that out of context. But yes, and counting money still applies to business analysts because they are making six figures and up, and at the end of the day, right, they're in demand as well. So they're in a way counting money, as I think. So again, so looking at the other activities that a business analyst does, right? Strategizing, planning, teaching, coaching, training, mentoring, executing. So if you look at all these different activities, right, and this is where it is so fascinating because if you think of business analysts, it's an IT role, right? But if you look at the different activities they are doing, do you think you need to have any background in IT? Yes or no? Put in the chat. Do you think you have to have a technical education or background for you to get into IT and do this role? Or do you think with what you have currently done in your current jobs or maybe in your previous jobs, you could very well leverage that and do all of these activities that you're probably already doing today? Isn't that eye opening? Like most people think that IT jobs and IT careers are only for tech people, right? And people with technical education and background, but that's not necessarily the case, right? Which is why
Mhm.
in order to give you some kind of an understanding, so you are able to make this decision on whether IT is good for you or not, right? So that's the purpose of this. So understanding the activities is really really important. So what happens today is majority of the people who work 9 to 5 in the IT industry or even who are not in the IT industry, they focus on doing the things, which means they focus on uh, you know doing business analysis, for example, right? They're too hung up on it because they want to learn all about business analysis. They they want to master it, right, which is good, but what they're learning is just the technical aspects of business analysis, right? That's why they become very average because if you think about it from a client's perspective, the client is not going to assess you based on Babok. They're not going to come to you and say, "Hey, you haven't followed this step in the Babok." Nobody or the client doesn't know Babok. You're the one who's going to have to customize Babok to apply in a situation that the client is going through so you can provide business analysis as a service to them. Does that make sense? How many of you got a aha right now? Put in the chat if you've got an aha. If this is something that realize that, hey, this is something that you could do for yourself. How many of you got that thought right now? So average employees, people who are just average, they're average because they don't know, they don't probably understand the fact that they're focusing too much on the technical aspects of the role that they're playing, right? A professional consultant or a professional business analyst, for example, they focus on doing all the different things that we talked about, right? It's like this, right? So think of yourself as going to a party, right? um, what do you usually do when you go to a party? You make sure you are dressed up, right? You have your makeup on, and so and you want to carry yourself really well, right? When you go to a party. So think of someone who really focuses on the technical role as just putting on makeup and not changing their clothes and just going to the party, right? What do you think will happen? Yes, you can have the makeup as a business analyst, but you don't have the attire or the mannerisms or the skills or the finesse in which they deliver certain
Mhm.
things, right? So what happens? And people judge you based on how you appear, how you do things, right? Not how you. Most of the times, it's not how you look. You could always put that makeup on, but if you don't have that within you, you can't really perform the role to the fullest extent that is expected out of you, right? So professional consultants, and this is what we teach people, we help people to get best at all of the other things around the thing. It's just not only the thing, right? So we help them get best at everything around the thing, and Inos specializes in getting them also the business analysis skills that you would also need in a way, right? So you have all of that. Think about how irresistible you will be, right? When you walk into a party, how would you feel when people want to talk to you and come stand next to you, talk to you, take pictures with you? How would that make you feel? Won't you feel like a celebrity in the party, right? So that's exactly what we teach, and that's what I want you to take away from this as well. So don't focus too much on the technical aspects. Yes, you need the technical aspects as well, but you have to transform yourself to do the other activities that eventually lead to delivering the core function as well, right? So a class. So the difference between a professional business analyst, a professional consultant, and a world class professional consultant is this, right? They're doing great at the things, right? That deliver the thing, and they're also great at doing the thing, which means they're good in doing business analysis or delivering business analysis. They're also good or great at the other things that eventually lead to delivering business analysis, right? So that's the difference. And think about your career and where do you stand in your career today, right? If you want to go from good to great, you're going to have both the skills, right? You have to have your technical skills, and you have to know how to take that technical skill and apply in situations which
Mhm.
are needed. And that's what makes you great and world class. And that's what the
Mhm.
clients usually look for, right? How many of you get this so far? Are you with me?
We're getting responses in the comments. I think it's just really delayed today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So if you want to be known as a world class BA, and this is what I would advise all my students, right? As well, don't just think of learning business analysis for the
Sabrish, we have a question
yeah.
here. Please explain further doing the things and doing the things that deliver the thing.
Okay. So let's say you want to deliver business analysis, right? It's not enough for you to just learn business analysis. Like You can still learn it, you can still get a job, but you will still, you will still have to improve yourself to deliver the business analysis service by doing the different things that you have to do within business analysis, right? And those are the things that we talked about. You have to be able to communicate well. You have to be able to um, understand people, right? Talk to people, interview people, gather information, synthesize information, put that into a format that people will understand, present that information, right? And you have to be able to strategize things and plan, how you're going to deliver business analysis. And you should be able to adapt and customize your BABOK into things that will help the clients who work with you to move from state A to state B, right? Those are the different things that I'm talking about. That's why it's like you have to deliver business analysis, yes, but you can't just deliver business analysis, because the purpose of learning business analysis is to understand business analysis, all the knowledge areas within business analysis, and you should be able to apply that in a scenario or a situation. And that's where most people struggle, right? They do project management, they do business analysis, they do all kinds of IT certifications, and they get into consulting, and they start struggling because they haven't really conditioned themselves or developed themselves fully so they can deliver those services like a world class professional, right? And that's what we're talking about. Okay. So if you want to be known as a world-class BA, right? And this is something that you should aim for. You have to be known as a world-class, just not for the sake of it, right? Um, just learning business analysis, right? And Eno School really does an amazing job in helping people, especially from non-IT sectors and domains, to get into IT. They give you this technical skill that will help you to get into IT as well. And what you also need to develop on top of that is your soft skills and the way you deliver things to clients, because that's what people or the clients resonate with. Because keep in mind that your clients are not technical, right? All they look at is what you deliver, and based on that is what your performance is judged, and based on that is what you get your clients, like your consulting gigs is based on that, is based on purely how you deliver your services to clients. Right. Now, I want to present this to you, right? So, this is something that I was thinking to myself when I started back in the days. And, this is something that I was going through as well, right? So, there's about 9 levels in a job, right? Any job you take, it doesn't have to be IT industry. There's about 9 levels through which people have to move in order in their careers, right? So let's say people work for 40 years in their jobs. There's about 9 different levels that they go through, right? And every level that you move up, your salary increases along with that, right? And there's a reason why it's tied to your the different levels, because again, you have to have a performance evaluation. Based on the performance evaluation, somebody will judge you based on what you've done the whole year, and then they'll tell you whether you did a great job or you have to improve further, right? So as you go up the level within a corporate job, your salary increases, right? So imagine somebody at level 9 who's in the C-suite earns about 350 to maybe 425K per annum, right? And if you look at the statistics, you will be able to realize that people at level 9 can maximum earn about 450K per annum. That's the maximum they can earn. So what that tells you is you work 40 years in your life. You spend all of your years working, knowing that you can only get to, let's say, 500,000, right? How does that make you feel? And you struggle along the way. There's so many things happening. You want your paychecks coming in month after month. There isn't a lot of growth, and even if you grow, there's going to be a 3 to 5% raise for every level that you go, right? And not everybody will get to move into stage 9 or stage 8. Most of the people are stuck between stage 3 and 5, right? So, isn't that surprising? Like when COVID hit the world back in the days, right, in 2020, the people within stage 2 and 4 are the ones who were mostly impacted because of COVID, because they lost jobs, because they couldn't get more pay, they had to take pay cuts and so on. So they were the ones who were mostly impacted, right? The reason why this is very important to understand is because as a consultant, your income is definitely not limited to, to let's say half a million, right? Or maybe, 100K or half a million. So you're going to be able to, as a consultant, eventually make more than what you can make as a C-suite executive in a job. And that's the basic difference between a consultant and an employee who goes through these 10 levels. Are you with me? You're getting it, right? So you work your whole life and you're going to be able to make 500K at the end. What I'm saying is there's a short path, there's a shortcut or there's a path, an alternative path that most people are not aware of, which will help them to maximize their income, and they don't have to wait, or they don't have to wait for somebody to tell them, hey, you're now a lead or you're now a subject matter expert. You could raise that income at will, provided you develop your skills and you're good at it, right? So this is how typically a progression or the income increases for a consultant, right? If you look at it, you might start at zero, right? Your first goal should be to get to 100K, and the next level is a 250K consultant, and you need different kind of skills for that, right? And then 500K, and then 1 million, right? So think about this: if you work 40 years, and if I tell you you only make 500K or 450K as an employee, and if you work for 40 years, there's no cap on your income. Which one appeals to you? Is it the employee path or the consultant path? And most people don't understand this. Getting it, everyone? Okay, the consulting path, yes. Yes, because it's much it's a no-brainer, right? Like if you understand the concept of how you need to look at, it just doesn't make sense for you to be in a full-time job, and just growing 3 to 5% every year. Like I was, like take me for example, right? So I was consulting for a client. I ended up being with them for about 5 years. And imagine somebody who's working full-time at that client. Let's say their pay was 100K, and let's say they get a 3 to 5% raise for 5 years. So at the end of 5 years, they probably would have been at 150K. From 100K to 150K, it would have taken them 5 years. Whereas I was increasing my income more than 3 to 5%, right? So I was pretty much at 500K. So you see the difference? You work 5 years, there's about 400, 500K difference. That's the level of growth you can have as a consultant, provided you are committed to improving yourself. It is all about you, right? You have to be good because clients want to give consulting assignments to good consultants, right? And if you're average, people will recognize that, and you might lose, consulting gigs here and there. And that's why we offer community and on-job support and all kinds of support that we can provide to make you into that full, like a world class professional, right? Who can then appeal to any client across the world, right? So this slide here, I want to show you the slide, right? So if you look at this is the demand for IT consultants. Now it's about a 10-year trend that you're looking at. Now, if you look at this, how does it appear to you? Do you see the trend going up or going down from 2011 to 2021? How is the trend looking to you?
Definitely going up for sure.
Yeah, it's been going up, and the
Mhm.
the best part is, like, you look at 2020, there was a little bit of dip, and 2020 to 2021, you see the jump. Middle of the pandemic, why are consultants so in demand? Because organizations weren't able to get their operations online quickly. They needed consultants. They wanted some people to help them, provide advice, tell them how they go about shifting their businesses online, to fix their processes, to fix their people, train their people. All that needed a consultant, right? So this is the market cap for IT consulting industry. The market size is about 576 billion. Again, this was back in 2021. It has significantly gone up since this year. There's about 2 million consultants in the states alone. This is based on US data, right? And the forecast, like, they're not saying the industry is going to grow 100%. They're saying 10% year on year growth, and look at where it's going to sit by 2030. $3 trillion. That's how big the pie is, right? There's going to be a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of growth for consultants who are already there, and they're going to need a lot more people. So they're going to need a lot more consultants, and they're struggling where to get those consultants from, right? So 3 trillion is going to be the market cap. Who knows? You might hit the industry might hit 3 trillion sooner than 2030. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be until that. Think about all the startups that are starting. Think about how much tech is part of our day-to-day lives. It has been integrated so much. Who's going to take care of all this? Who's going to improve the tech? Who's going to innovate in the IT industry if we don't have consultants? So $3 trillion by 2030, right? That's going to be the pie. So you can choose to get a share of that pie, or you can just choose to ignore it and stay where you are. And like I showed you, you can just keep going on with your employee path. Just hope for that 3 to 5%. Today, the inflation rate is about 7%. No wonder your income, is not enough. You're never going to be able to grow your wealth if you work, in a full-time job. That's the way it is. It's designed to keep you in jobs, right? So the businesses and the employers grow, and your growth is limited to a 3 to 5%. That's the way it is designed. Right. So this is what I teach, and this is a framework that I want you to adopt, right? There's three things, and I call this the wealth maximizer trident. This is a framework that I teach people. So first is, you have to somehow find a way to increase or maximize your income potential. right? If you are somebody who is thinking about retirement and geez, I don't know what I'm going to do, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to work. Keep this in mind. You're not going to be able to work your whole life. At some point, you have to take retirement.
Mm.
You have to have enough funds in your bank account to be able to retire comfortably, right? And on the other side, they're projecting the statistics Canada and North America are projecting that human lives, the average lifespan of humans, is increasing. And what that tells you is the more time you live on this earth, the more money you need, and the cost of living is going to go up. It's not going to come down. So you need to find a way to increase your income ability, and you find a way to invest that increase in your income into something. And that's what I call as a vehicle, right? A vehicle is something that will get you to your wealth much faster. You invest that money into something, and that gives you higher returns, which will help you to again increase your income potential, and then you're able to invest that money and it grows, right? So that's the law of compounding. So in here, the vehicle we are talking about is the IT industry. That's the pie, right? You want to pick from the pie that is big, not that is small, right? You need a piece of that pie because that's where all the money is going to go, and that's because tech is going to be the future of the world. Everybody needs to have tech. Everybody needs to have automations in place. AI and automations are going to rule the world. Most people will lose jobs because of that, because people are going to be able to are replaceable, right? If they don't have skills, you could put an automation in place. You don't need a person to do the job, right? The automation can take care of itself. It doesn't need to, it takes no holidays. It runs 24/7, keeps generating money for businesses, right? Whereas consulting is something that is going to be in demand, because for those automations that people put in, you need a consultant to tell the organization or the business, hey, you have now put in this automation and it's time for you to change it or improve it, right? So people are going to be in demand, and consultants are always going to be in demand. So this is basically what I teach in my school. And this is why is also promoting business analysis, because that's going to be one of those high income skills that you should leverage to make that six figure and up, so you're able to safeguard your future
Exactly.
and your retirement. All right, how many of you get this now? Did you get an aha moment today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of comments in the chat. Um, Steven says here soft skills is very key. Um,
Yeah.
the makeup illustration is really great. Abby says leverage on your transferable skills. People who are asking, yeah, this live session will be available on the YouTube channel. It will be also on the LinkedIn pages as well as on
Yeah, and
Facebook.
if you need a recording to be sent to you, you can also send us an email. I'll post the email towards the end. You can also
All
send us
right.
an email.
Love it. You were so
Yeah, so
correct,
you're so correct.
because I have an experience of such in my workplace. We did the job. The consultant taught us. Consultant was paid in millions for the 3 years he was with my company.
Yeah, yeah. And why do you think the company pays a consultant 3 millions and not you?
Mm,
Because you haven't established your skills and your authority yet, right? So the
mhm,
organization doesn't see you as valuable as a consultant.
exactly.
So that's what you need to change. In order for you to change somebody's perception, you have to become someone they respect. Yes, because he's an expert, they are seeing, yes. So why don't you become that expert? And why don't you have organizations pay you that $1 million? Right? That's what we're talking about here. Business analysis, IT, consulting, these are all vehicles that will help you to fast track your income and growth. So if you wish to not worry about your finances and future, I think you need to put yourself in a position to get a piece of that pie. And it's not for everyone, right? Like it's not, don't think of business analysis. Yes, you can initially get into a job, but the growth will be limited if you constantly, don't upgrade yourself, right? Business analysis, yes, it'll get you that six figure out of the door. It'll provide those opportunities that you don't have, but you have to also be willing to continuously upskill yourself and learn and adapt to the changing market conditions, right? Otherwise, you will be left behind. So this is why we teach consulting, because not many people understand this, right? And if you think about it, all we are doing is we are helping people secure their retirement, their finances. So we are helping people to become financially confident so they can achieve financial freedom. We're helping people to gain flexibility in their careers so they don't have to be tied to their desks and tied to that paychecks that are sent to them every month. They have some time, they can buy back the time. They have freedom to spend their time with their families, to spend with their children and see them grow. That's what we're doing, although we're calling it consulting. And yeah, that's end of the day, that's the outcome of what we are trying to achieve. Right? So we help you become the most sought after consultant in the IT industry. And how do we do this? We have a 360-degree transformation. Again, I want to stress this word. It's transformation. It's not like a course that you will go get that will change everything. It's not a silver bullet. You have to put in the effort if you want to have a good future, right? So we help you become that world-class consultant or business analyst while maintaining freedom, flexibility, growth, and insanely high income. And I mean that. Like you can literally increase your income at will. Nobody's going to put a gun to your head and say this is what you should charge. You can charge based on your will if you have established yourself well. And that's something we can help you with. So you can choose to take the express elevator. So think of yourself climbing the mountain, right? On top of the mountain is your financial freedom, security, everything you wish for. Let's say you're climbing the mountain. You can choose to take the express elevator, or you can decide to walk up. I think I took the express elevator because it helped me get there sooner. I bought speed, I bought time, and I bought skills, really. That's why I'm here today. Eno's here today. We're talking to you, right? But if you want, yeah, you can still walk up the mountain. It's your choice. It's up to you, for sure. But just know that by the time you get there, what you have achieved is probably not enough for you to sustain through the rest of your life. Right? Yeah. So yeah, somebody says, yes, I want to become a BA expert like Yeah, she's an inspiration for all of us. Like, I'm so inspired by the work she does. Right? And like I said, it's not From the outside, you might think that she's teaching business analysis, but no, she is changing lives.
Mm.
She's changing the life of people, their families, their children, the generation. It's a noble thing what she does, right? So you have to again choose what is good for you. We can't. No, we can only educate you. I can show you the path, the consequences, and whatnot. So I think from here on, uh, if you want to change things for yourself, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, take up this transformation, and in a matter of 3 to 6 months, you will be able to see results. So if you want to do that, you can set up a call with or I,
Mhm.
and I'm going to post my. Should I send you the the link here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. Um, but we're also open to taking any questions. So I know we talked a lot today. Any questions?
Let's see if you have any questions in the chat. Based off of everything that we had discussed today around, what it's like to be a consultant and demystifying the consulting role, right? Because the truth is, being able to leverage your experience, you can be a consultant even in an industry as a domain subject matter expert, um, as an industry expert, as a technology expert, as a process expert, right? You can leverage your experience and your skills. And, as a consultant, you don't need to have, multiple degrees. I think someone here was talking about, getting an MBA in IT. You don't even need to have an MBA in IT to be an expert consultant. You don't even need to have IT, an IT degree to be a consultant. You can still work in the tech industry, work within IT, and still be able to, and you can still be able to perform your role as a consultant. Basically, being able to identify the needs within the organization, being able to teach, coach, mentor um, the people within the organization, being able to lead as well, being able to identify the right stakeholders to work with, understand how to understand as well, how to work with multiple stakeholders. So your people management skills are important. Your domain and industry knowledge is important, right? That's important as well. Your understanding of how technology works is important. You don't need to be technical if you're not a software engineer. You don't ever need to go study software engineering. Just to work in that industry. And then, something to also note is that as a, as a consultant, as well, you don't also need to be an expert in IT, even as a business analyst at all. Like you don't need heavy technical skills. You just need to understand how the technology works. And every company uses technology. So, that should be your goal, is where you are working currently, what technologies are being used, how do you use them? What are the features that are of most importance to you? And how are you leveraging that experience? If you've been part of a process improvement, been part of a digital transformation, you've
Hmm.
been a part of a project where basically we're able to carry out a change within the organization. What was your role? What were the things that you did? And how can you take that knowledge and now learn how to be paid from that as well? So, those are the things that you want to think about when you are where you're looking into going into consulting, the experience that you already have, how can you leverage that experience to work,
Yeah.
within consulting, and being a business analyst, that the business analysis career path, gives you all the skills that you need in terms of the soft skills, in terms of the technologies, in terms of the people skills, the domain experience that you get as well. You can definitely take all of that and, advise other companies, right? If you've worked at large companies, you can advise smaller companies that can't afford, large, the big four consulting companies. You can work with them as a consultant, leverage your own experience. I talk with this all the time that a lot of the times we are underestimating what we've done just because of, the titles that we had. Like, Sabrish said, what does a banker do? What does an accountant do? Right. So because of that title, you forget that there were things that you did to help you achieve your goals, even within those roles. So those things that you did, right? What are those things that you did? Because those things you did helped to establish a change, help the company to achieve their objectives. So those things that you did, how can you leverage them? Because even as a consultant, you'll be doing the same things, interviewing people, getting information, putting together documentation, teaching people, asking questions, providing advisory, which is important. Those are like important skills to have, right? So basically, just being able to demystify it, right?
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time, like they feel like, oh, when I get into this consulting career, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be so deep into the technical phase, and then they come back and they're like, I'm doing a lot of coaching and mentorship and teaching, or I'm doing a lot of, and they come and tell me, I didn't know like I had to be in all those meetings. I'm like telling people what to do and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's a day in the life of a consultant. Like you're communicating a lot, you're speaking to people, you're being in all those meetings, people are looking up to you for advisory.
Yeah.
So someone's asking about, I want to transit from being a BDM to a business analyst. So you're not very far from being a business analyst. I'll definitely recommend that you take the master class. If you wanted to get started in business analysis, you can find that on the link in my profile bio, or in my featured section. You would find the link to that masterclass. And then, of course, when you have the business analysis knowledge, skills, and experience, you can take that on to, work,
Yeah.
as a consultant.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can either learn business analysis first and then the consulting skills next, or you can combine that and you can fast
Exactly.
track your way into IT now. So we do have we also teach people, it's a 6 months dual certification program in which we help you develop business analysis skills and the consulting skills in parallel. So you fast track that, and that growth and your transition into the IT industry. So you don't, you get two at the same time
Oh
as you
yeah,
get one. So
absolutely.
that's something we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The business analysis skills, is a fantastic skill to have to become a consultant. And, like Sabrish said, you can learn business analysis, learn consulting skills, and work as a business analysis consultant. Um, with the Professional
Yeah.
Consultant Accelerator program, which is a program we have both put together to help professionals who want to leverage business analysis skills and the consulting skills become expert business analysts and master consultants as well. So, of course, you can schedule a call as well. So I will put this link. It's on Facebook and YouTube, but I'm gonna put it on LinkedIn right now so that you can also schedule a call if you wanted to learn more about how you can leverage the experience and skills that you already have as well. And this session is recorded. So you can definitely watch the replay. But if you have any questions for us right now, feel free to feel free to ask your questions right now. So,
Yeah. So
Sabrish,
there's
I'll let
a
you take this one.
yeah safety consultant. I want to understand a little bit more about what you do, and I'm thinking it's probably the same activities. It's just that you are providing safety advisory to organizations. So business analysis is again not too far from what you currently do. So you can still leverage what you're doing into a career in IT that'll help you maximize your income.
Absolutely. If you're helping an organization to improve safety, business analysts do that because there are things that you would need to do that. So, first of all, you would need to understand what the different people say you work. Maybe in an oil and gas plant or a manufacturing plant, you work there. So you're a safety consultant. So you probably
Yeah,
have some HSC certifications and things like that. You come
yeah,
in, you understand what they do, you understand their processes, and then you identify the gaps and say, okay, between this process and this process, there could be,
yeah,
this can actually lead to maybe a fire or a hazard, right? So you're identifying all those hazardous situations. And when you identify those situations as a safety consultant, what do you do? Then you find ways to train, develop a better process and then train the people on the new process. And then, of course, you help them to
yeah,
ensure that they follow those guidelines. And if you need to create any sort of training or, or any manuals for them, and then you also work with their managers, right, um, to help them to I develop safety management systems for companies. So, and then you're asking them
yeah,
questions, making sure that, your recommendations work well for them. So you're still doing business analysis, right?
yeah, yeah,
Damien, to answer your question.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I think what he's also doing is trying to gather everything and then put together a framework or system for the organization to adopt and handle like either security issues or being prepared so they can avoid security issues and so on. So it's pretty
exactly.
much yeah the foundation. The foundation is business analysis. Absolutely. Yeah, electrical engineer. Do we have that question? Okay, so I'm a sustainable finance consultant for banks, DFIs, etc. How can BA be integrated into my day-to-day activities? Well, you were still. I'm assuming you were still talking to people as a consultant. So business analysis is all about understanding what people need or what needs to go into a system or a solution, right? And analyzing, like you're gathering information. It could be requirements as well that need to go into a solution or system, and then you're thinking of all different ways how to um, analyze impacts and reduce risks and so on in the system, and you're helping the organization build that system or the framework. So I think it's the same thing, Ushe.
What even when I saw his comment, what if I like you're already a consultant, right? Because you're trying to identify how can we
Yeah,
provide sustainable finance, right? So you are trying to identify what are the gaps, and then based off of that, you are recommending what those banks should do. So you're already practicing, business
yeah,
analysis in its true terms because you're recommending solutions, you're delivering value to
yeah,
those banks, and you're identifying what the needs are, and you're doing a lot of I would say maybe benchmarking as well, looking at what other banks are doing in other countries and seeing what works, looking at other industry standards or frameworks that can
yeah,
be implemented, and you would be providing guidance to the implementation teams that would be handling this. You would probably create some guides, create some documentation as well. So, I believe you're already practicing business analysis, Uche.
yeah, yeah. As an electrical engineer working in power sector, how easy is it to transition to business analysis? Well, it how easy it depends on you, right? How good or how fast or how quickly you can learn. But again, the principles of business analysis apply to anything we do. It doesn't have to be an engineering job. It doesn't have to be an accounting. Even accounting does a lot of business analysis as well, right? And banking, there's a lot of business analysis involved, right? There is stakeholder. So if you look at the knowledge areas, right, within business analysis, there's this that's the fundamental of how you of everything that you need to do in order for you to carry out something. So as an electrical engineer, you're probably doing the activities a business analyst already does, or the Babok recommends, right? So for you, it shouldn't be hard for you to transition into that. The reason why business analysis is important is because it now opens your door into the IT industry, right? That's the segue. And that's why we recommend that. We teach that because that's the fastest way to get into IT industry, right? So being a business analyst will help you with that. And add on top of that your consulting skills, you're yeah, that's game over, right? You're a consultant, BA, immediately.
And I wanted to also clarify something that business analysis is a practice, right? It is a practice,
Hmm.
right? So you need to understand that
Yes.
because it is a practice, you can be in any career, you can have any title, you can have any role, you can live anywhere. Is not it is a practice. So your title could
Yeah.
still be strategic finance consultant, just like Uche has that title. You could still be an engineering manager, you could still be a safety consultant, but you're practicing business analysis. It is a practice, right? However, there's so many titles that BAs have.
Yeah.
The list is non-exhaustive, to be honest. So having that mindset that it is a practice is not a title that you must have
Yeah.
to carry out the role is
Yeah.
what would help you when you are looking at those business analyst roles or looking at consulting roles as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I
All
think you
right.
touched upon a great point there.
Yeah.
If I may just add a little more to that. So
Yeah.
you talked about mindset, and I feel that most of us miss that, right? So IT, business analysis, consulting, it is 80% mindset, 20% mechanics, right? It's all, if you talk about this, people will always ask me, okay, what do I need to do? Right? So that's the mechanics. That's what we are used to. That's how we think as people. We always want to know what we need to do to become a business analyst. But like said, it's a practice, right? It's a state of being. It's how you do things. It's how you think about things. It's how you observe things, how you get information, synthesize it, put it into a meaningful format that somebody understands. That's what practice is all about. So the fundamental principles that business analysis will teach you is all that, right? And consulting skills will give you additional um, kind of skills in terms of how you take that and how you deliver that. How do you make something really irresistible? How do you make something presentable in a way that a C-suite executive understands? Or how do you present it in a way that a stakeholder working in a particular department will understand, right? That's the angle, right? That's how it's different, but fundamentally it's the same. So business analysis becomes that foundational skill upon which you do everything within the IT industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're rounding up right now. It's been a great time learning together. Thank you everyone who has joined us so far. And thank you for your questions. And then for the link.
Oh, I think she dropped off. Oh, is she back? Okay. I think I know you probably dropped there for a bit. Okay, so how many of us listening here, watching here, are thinking about starting a consulting career pretty soon? Put in the chat and let us know. And again, so I think has also added links where you can set up a call with us. Talk to us about your career goals and aspirations. And again, we'll give you best recommendations on how to move forward in your career so you can maximize your income potential. Right? We talked about the path to wealth and mastery. That's what you need to be on. Right? So we need to look at where you stand today, and we'll give you recommendations on how you can move forward and quickly increase your income so you're able to safeguard your future and your financial well-being. Okay, so I think the link is in the chat, has provided that. And also, if you are interested in receiving a copy of this recording, this session, the recording, we also have a link that Eno has added. So make sure that you reach out to us, and we'll give you access to our platform where we host all these recordings. And you will also be able to get recordings from our past events as well. So everything is there for you to, look at, in one place, right? So that's something you can get access to as well. And yeah, reach out to us, send us an email if you want that recording. And also, we will send you links to join our free um, community, where we kind of, provide ongoing like free education as well. So that's something that you can think about joining. So we'll send you links when you respond to us or when you send us an email. So we'll respond to you with the links as well. All right. So I hope this session gave you much clarity, and I hope you had some aha moments. I hope this helped you to understand how you can move forward in your career and towards your mastery and well-being. And I'm really grateful for again, being here with Eno today. So as always, I think we're going to sign off for now. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out any point in time. I've also, I think she also posted a link to our website. Our website is iitcinternational.com. If you want to go there, learn about consulting and learn about me, you can always do so. I'm open on LinkedIn as well. You can reach out to me. You can follow me there. I do have some consulting related videos on YouTube as well. So you can check me out there as well. So yeah, so good luck with everything. And thank you so much for taking time and watching this live event today. So have a good rest of the weekend, everyone, and we will be in touch. Take care.